Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, know that I appreciate it. Um, I just really quick wanted to do this before I got into the rest of my day. And the topic is it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. I did do a little bit of research on biblically speaking, it's okay to say no, because I always try to connect what's been given to me um, to the Bible. And if I can't connect it to the Bible, then a lot of times I don't speak it. Not necessarily because it's not important. Sometimes I do speak it just because I'm being led to speak it. But not necessarily because it's not important, but because I want to be able to have something biblically for you, the listener or the viewer, to refer back to. So the majority of my topics, um, a good portion, I won't say the majority, a good portion of my topics will have biblical background. Um, so again, it's okay to say no. We have, as humans, this tendency to want to be liked by other humans. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, but sometimes we do it to our detriment. When we're always saying yes to others, when we say yes, we'll watch the children, when we say yes, we'll go to the store, when we say yes, we'll loan some money, when we say yes, will we work early to do this, when we say yes to putting ourselves out for someone else, to putting ourselves at the hands of someone else to our detriment, whether it is our financial detriment, whether it is our physical and health detriment, whether it is our mental detriment, whether it is our time detriment. My apologies. Um, whether it's our time detriment. Um, we tend to just put ourselves out and do a disservice to ourselves because we so want to be of help to so many others. And again, there is nothing wrong with helping others. There is nothing wrong with being of assistance. However, there are quite honestly more scriptures about self-care than there is about us saying no. But there is a scripture that speaks about us saying no. And that scripture is Matthew 5:37. And it's very, very easy to follow. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil. That is the only scripture that I found that would be remotely relevant to what I'm speaking on today, as far as saying no is concerned. Usually when we hem and haw, when we hesitate rather than saying yes or no, it typically means that we're saying yes. Because we are so kind to those who we want to assist that we don't want to turn them down, but we are in the midst of trying to figure out if when we say yes to them, if it's going to mean no to us. And that's not really what we want. So that's where that anything more than this comes from evil. But it also speaks to if we elaborate on our no, or we elaborate on our yes. If we say yes, but we may as well say no, because we just don't have the time really, or the resources really, to do what this other person is asking for us to do. That's what it says to me as it pertains to this particular topic. That's what it says to me. When we say no, but we're basically saying yes, we're trying to figure out a way to get around saying yes. But that's not really what we need to do. We really need to say no, period. No, I cannot do it. I cannot go there. I cannot watch that child. I cannot loan you any money. I cannot go to the grocery store. I cannot go to this event. I cannot support this thing. We sometimes just need to say no. A couple of scriptures, and I won't read the scriptures, but I'll give you 3 scriptures on self-care. 1 Corinthians 6 verses 19 through 20, Romans 12 verses 1 through 2, and Hebrews 4 verses 9 through 11. Those all speak to self-care, and there are several others, but those 3 speak to self-care. And this is how saying no and self-care actually work together. We say no, speaking from personal experience. I have said yes to some things that caused me physical harm. I have said yes to some things that have caused me financial harm. I have said yes to some things that have caused me emotional harm. Health-wise, physically is what I mean. Health-wise, it's caused me harm. I said yes to some things that I should have said no to. When we say no, we have to understand that it is well within our right to say so. We can do that and not feel bad about it. Yes, the other person's feelings may be hurt because they're so used to you saying yes, but they have to deal with that, not you. Especially if you're saying it with kindness and in love. No, I cannot assist you. No, that's going to cause me. I had to say no just recently. I got a job offer, actually. I got a job offer. And this job offer would have put me 45 minutes to an hour away from home. It would have cost me a tremendous amount in gas and parking or in train transportation. And even though the hourly pay is more than what I make now, the take home would have been less than what I bring home now. So I had to say no. That's one example of financial hardship that it would have brought to me. I had to say no. When my grandparents were alive, I did a lot for them. I took care of them because I was really the only one that could physically be there for them, financially be there for them, and emotionally be there for them. I was the only one that could. Not to say that my mother or her brother could not be there for them, but they had their own health challenges that made it difficult. They had their own financial challenges that made it difficult. And my brother lived in another state at the time. So I was really the only one that could be there for them. And it caused me some physical strain. It caused me some emotional strain. It caused me some financial strain. Let's backtrack a little bit. Now, I'm trying not to make this too long, but I see I'm already at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm trying not to make this too long. There were times when my grandparents shopped for their groceries daily. Say for like maybe the first 2 weeks of the month, they would shop for their groceries daily. That was hard on me because that meant that every day I was either, when they were driving, I was either loaning them my vehicle so that they could go to the grocery store. And sometimes that caused me some issues with my schedule, or I would have to go to the grocery store for them, which means I had to fit it into my schedule because they needed something from the store. On average, people go to the store maybe once a week, maybe twice a month, maybe once a month because they don't like shopping as much. My grandparents had to go to the store for at least 2 weeks out of the month, every day, every single day. That was a problem for me. As I said, I either loaned them my car when they were driving, which caused problems with my schedule, or I drove them around, which means I had to fit them into my schedule. And it's not that I didn't want to do for them, but when it's something that you do on a daily basis, it makes it difficult for you to want to do it for them. I remember staying in a situation, a relationship that ended up causing me physical issues because I refused to say no. Health challenges because I refused to say no. I began to have issues with my gastrointestinal system. I began to lose my hair. I began to lose weight. I was stressed out to the point of seeing a therapist. So that caused me not just physical harm and physical damage, but also mental and emotional damage. And when I finally said no to them and yes to me, it took me a little while, but I did finally hit the road to improvement, getting better and taking care of me again. There have been times when I've had to say no to my children because it would have caused me financial hardship to say yes to them. It would have caused them some challenges if I said yes to them. And it's not something that a parent wants to do. A parent doesn't want to tell their children no all of the time, but sometimes we just have to say no. It's not going to happen. Children wanting certain things because they see their friends with them. And you want to say yes, but if you don't have it, you don't have it, so you have to say no. Children wanting to do things because their friends are being allowed to do certain things. If you have to say no, you have to say no. If you think that it's going to cause your child danger, then you must say no. So my children for quite some time did not understand why I said no to them. Well, if I said yes, then you'd have some other issues. So be grateful that I said no. For friends having to say no, I have a lot of friends who are very creative and very entrepreneurial. I have to say no to a lot of them because it's not that I don't want to support them, but I just don't have the time, the space, or the finances to support each and every one of those friends that are always doing something. I have friends that are playwrights. I have friends that are, they make graphic t-shirts. They have their own clothing business. They have, they're authors, just as I am, and they have books out there. I'd love to be able to financially and physically support all of these people, but I cannot. So I have to be able to say no. Just recently, in the last year, with my husband being extremely ill, having a chronic illness, we were in the hospital literally every weekend for several months because his illness would not allow him to function. He was out of work for several months because his illness would not allow him to function. And I cared so for him, doing stuff for him and not allowing him to do it for himself, not saying no to him, that my health became an issue. And therefore, at the beginning of the year, I had a major health crisis that would have literally, and when I say literally, I mean just that, literally killed me if I had not been smart enough to go to the hospital when I did. And then to also follow up after that incident and continue to see medical attention after. I've had 2 major surgeries in the last 6 months. No, yeah, 2 major surgeries in the last 6 months. And one was an emergency and the other we were able to finally just kind of plan out better. All because I wouldn't say no to my husband, whom I care for and love, and was trying to take care of him and help him get through his health challenges. But because I would not allow him to do things for himself, it caused me some issues. Financially speaking, the same thing. Not saying no to him has caused some financial issues for us. So I have to be able to say no, because if I don't, it will cause this. This will cause that. And sometimes it's not always positive. So understand, and this is what I'm saying with all of this, understand that it's okay for you to say no. If it is going to cause you physical discomfort, financial discomfort, health discomfort, or discomfort in your health, I should say, or emotional or mental discomfort, it's okay to say no. And if you have to hem and haw about it, don't hem and haw verbally. Stop before you answer. Pray, Father, is this all right for me to do? And then respond, so that your answer is simply yes or no, that it's not causing you any hardships whatsoever. Sometimes we do have to sacrifice, but God will let you know when that time is. God will absolutely let you know when that time is. So don't be afraid to stop and ask God before you respond. All right. With that, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you. Now I've got to get my blog together for tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic is, what is tomorrow's topic? Victim, victimizer, or victor. That's tomorrow's topic. So I've got to take care of that, get that video done, get that blog done, get myself something to eat, and get to work later. So again, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.